mornings. This past week, one of my friends, Justin, came over with one of his sons and his little, who happens to be a classmate of my little, and we played Streamlined Superheroes. It was an adventure in which they had to recover the handbill needed to start the Riverton, New Jersey 4th of July parade. I gotta tell you, chase sequences in Streamlined Superheroes are a ton of fun because you don't need to track damage. You just set hindrance points and a timer. Enemy attacks add to the hindrance point total, and I did run it like Mario Karts. There are all sorts of wackiness going on, and then player actions decrease the hindrance points. It's pretty cool. Speaking of Justin, his Tales of Argosa character, Thorin, died in our last session. Died might be a little bit of an understatement. His character had his nose bitten off by a juvenile T-Rex before he started bleeding out, and his fellow party members, who had been rolling terribly, had managed to hit the creature all of one time. When Thorin went down, they took the opportunity to get the heck out of there. Now, the bummer about all of this is twofold. First, the party had an opportunity to bolt into a cave early into the chase that would have ended everything, but they all failed their stealth checks, and the T-Rex came barreling after them. And then second, there's a rescue mechanic in Tales of Argosa which could have been employed to save Thorin, but we all forgot about it. And I'd actually love to see it in action, so I'm kind of bummed that we forgot it at the moment. And in the end, it might be just as well that they didn't attempt to rescue Thorin, though, because they were rolling really bad. And the funny thing is, up to that point, Thorin was the only character who had any awful things happen to him. He had a scar across his face, his foot was bitten off, and then, right at the end, his nose was ripped off by a dinosaur. And now, Justin is playing a magic user, which will inevitably experience terrible things because of the way magic works in this system. This is going to be interesting. I'm running a Cypher Chaos Adventure at 20-sided Tankard in August, and I'm not sure if I want to run the old rules or the new rules. I'm leaning toward the new rules, so I suppose I'm going to have to make up some more characters. I've got 4 spots left at the table also, so if you're free to come hang out at Broken Goblet Brewing on August 9th, come out and play with me. I'm about a third of the way through Shadow West, and it's a pretty cool take on the Weird West genre. Expect a review on this game soon. And John, I know you're busy with the convention circuit this summer, but let's play this one on the channel pretty soon. I'm really looking forward to it. Ice shot and killed another person, and the story's the same. He weaponized his vehicle. Look, this tall tale is getting tired at this point, and the people in Ice are using terror tactics to prove how powerful they are, and they've been taught by their internal culture and the despicable people we have running the country that they are above the law, and they demonstrably hold the lives of those they hunt with zero regard. When you try to terrify someone with an unmarked vehicle using violent tactics, wear masks, and are all too happy to go hands-on with more violence, don't be surprised that people hit an adrenaline-driven fight or flight moment and try to get away. Killing Lorenzo Salgado Araujo wasn't a bug in the system. It's a feature. And for the people who are all pissy about me saying this because he was illegal, I don't give a damn what his immigration status was. Constitutional protections are in effect for everyone within the territory where it is in effect. We are living in a time when the barbarians aren't at the gates, they're running the show. God help us. Now, in other news, the Orange's Qatari loaner plane, which we paid to upgrade but he gets to keep somehow, is apparently not safe enough for a sitting president to use. Mitch McConnell talked for 20 minutes with everyone about the same exact talking points. The ceasefire with Iran is apparently over. Job growth sucks. There's some freedom fuel scam going on around here. Glorious leader is still infatuated with the idea of taking over Greenland. And now we've apparently cut Spain off for reasons. Let's see. We've currently got a foreign war of choice, which is making us and the world less safe. The economy sucks, the country's at each other's throats, and both constitutional protections and the separation of powers are being skewered. This isn't greatness, folks. It's decline, and we voted for it. Finally, although I agreed with him on pretty much nothing and thought the way he betrayed his own principles in order to prop up the Orange did active harm to the country, I revel in the death of no one, because demonstrating glee or lack of empathy says nothing about the person who died and a whole lot about me. So, My condolences to the friends and the family of Lindsey Graham. Jorben from Elder Goblin Games has given me the idea of starting a second channel where I just do unscripted first look videos. His Elder Goblin Bard channel is taking off, and I got a glut of games I want to take a look at, but I don't have time to do a whole full review of in short order. Would anybody be interested in something like First Looks with DM Tales? It would allow me to explore some box sets which keep getting pushed back in my queue, so this is something I'm really pondering. I'm actually hoping there's going to be some character conversion advice when the new Numenera books are released sometime over the next year. I'm digging what Monte Cook Games is doing with Cypher so far, and the wound system does feel like it'll be a little bit more challenging for players than the current setup, and I may want to switch our table to it if it's possible. If not, we may finish these characters' arcs and then start fresh with a new version when we're ready. It is exciting times. Tales of Argosa has been a wild ride so far. I enjoy the game's danger, I love the low magic design and the cool mechanics which make every character feel cool. Even when someone's rolls are horrible and Raging Barbarian gets eaten by a T-Rex, it's still really fun. It's also cool to explore what happened in the world since the conclusion of our basic fantasy campaign, so that's been really fun for me. But I'm also interested in getting back to Dragonbane because that system's stuck in my head. So when we feel like we spent a good time with Tales of Argosa, I do want to take a little bit of a break running some faux medieval fantasy games for other types of systems, but we may have to run some Dragonbane one-shots for fun. For long term, I think we want to switch to maybe doing some science fiction or superheroes for an extended campaign. We will have to see. Speaking of Tales of Argosa, we've completed an adventure arc in our campaign, and I'm working on the next exploration. This means I have shared my adventure notes on my Patreon. So please understand, I'm still working out how I organize these things that I'm handwriting, so excuse the chaotic design, and it's also in my left-handed scratch, so reading them is a little bit of a mental exercise. But I'm kind of excited to show people what I've been up to. If you'd like to take a peek into my odd GM mind, all you have to do is become a patron of Caffeination. The link to do so is right over there. I miss Ramble streaming, so hopefully I'll be able to fit some in over the next couple weeks. And also the Ocean Incident conversion needs to be done for Cypher, so building the characters online, that would be a lot of fun and would fill up some time for those. Just keep an eye out. We'll see when one happens. Okay, coming up, I do have some live streams scheduled. Get those out to you as soon as I can. I am also working on my review of Cypher, the player's book, because it's really fun and I finally got to read it. I had picked up or had delivered Outgunned Superheroes. Shadow West is about a third through, and I have started reading, about halfway through, a book about the Swedish game scene and how it's kind of dominating certain aspects of TTRPGs, and that's called Out of the Box. You can't actually get a physical copy of it in America, but there is a DRM free PDF that you can read that I'm reading on my books right now. It is a lot of fun. So until we see each other again, folks, happy playing, everyone.